Hello everyone, how are you guys today?
Good.
That's good. My name is Aiden Felan. I am currently a ninth grader. I'm a freshman in Cedars International Next Generation High School. And I'm here to teach you about PBL, which is project-based learning. And basically what that is a type of teaching style that we do very prominently here in Cedars. Um, so does anyone want to guess what exactly project-based learning is about? Raise of hands, anyone? It's okay to, oh, yes.
Learn through projects.
That's pretty much it, yeah. That's a really good one-sentence summary. Woo! But let me tell you a little more about it. So, project-based learning, I like to split up into three core components. Number one being groups. We all have selected groups that we have to be with for the entire project. We have a group contract that we put all of our contact information in. We sign roles. We have project rubrics. We do knows and need to knows about what's going to be coming up. And then after all that, we start working on it. At Cedars, we hold a lot of workshops in the classes, and they all differ a lot based on just what project or subject it is. And this all leads up to one final product, which at the end we present. We have to dress up formally, like I am right now, and we usually make slides just like these ones about what we learned. And it's basically a big old summary of the entire presentation. So now you may be wondering, how is this better than regular traditional learning? Well, I have a few examples of what it teaches you. For one, it teaches you teamwork. Because if you're always going to be with the team, you're always going to be collaborating with each other. And so you learn how to share ideas, you learn how to split up the work, and that makes the project go by way faster, way more efficiently. It teaches you understanding, because you have to be able to understand and consider everyone's ideas in a group. And it also shows to yourself, your team, and to your teachers what you learned at the very end once you present. It teaches you formality, because like I said, you have to dress up at the end of each presentation. But you also have to be able to gather all your thoughts into a little ball and be able to spread it out coherently and make sure to not make it too complex. And finally, it teaches you socializing, because if you're going to be with the team all the time, then you have to be able to know how to socialize. Because if you can't communicate with your team, then that's not really a team. It's not going to go well. You're not going to get a good grade on your project. So, being able to socialize and talk with your group is a really good skill. So now you may be wondering, how does any of this help us in the future? How will this help Cedars kids go on and get jobs or whatever? Well, I'll tell you how. I'm going to go back to the three main components that I said for project-based learning. By being in groups, it teaches you how to collaborate. Because let's say once you go get a job, your boss assigns you a paper that you have to work on with a group of people. You have to know how to consider everyone's ideas in the group and how to work together, how to make it seem like you're all pitching in. Because if you can't do that, then it's not going to be a very effective paper that you're writing or making. But luckily, PBL teaches you exactly how to do that. When you work together and work on workshops or with a team, that teaches what I think is one of the most important aspects, is to ask. So I want to ask you guys this. How many, just like by a raise of hand or nod of heads, would you guys say that you tend to work on things by yourself very often? And would you say that sometimes you wish you just had a little bit of help? Yeah. Well, sometimes help isn't that far as you think it is, because all you have to do is ask them. You can ask a parent, ask a friend, ask a teacher, ask a coworker, because sometimes they might know some knowledge that you don't. And a lot of people see asking for help as a sign of vulnerability or weakness. That's just not true. Like, asking for help isn't a soft skill. You have to be able to know when you need to ask for help, and you have to be confident enough to go up to someone and say, hey, I need help with what I'm doing. Can you please help me? Because that can be really useful if you just genuinely don't know what you're doing. And finally, when we present stuff, that will teach us how to be informal. That'll teach us, like I said, how to gather our thoughts and put it out there for everyone to hear. It's really useful for if you have to present in front of your boss for something, or even if you're just writing them an essay. Because in or even if writing an email, sorry, in an email. Because in an email, you have to make sure that you're to the point and that you have all your information on there that you need to know or that you need them to know. But you got to make sure you don't make it too complex or too long because then they're not going to read it. Luckily, by presenting it teaches us exactly how to do that. So now you might be wondering, well, is there any proof that this actually works? Is there any proof that project-based learning is better than traditional learning? Yes, there definitely is. And I'm going to show you in the form of a few sources that I gathered, a few educational sources. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to read straight from here. Biomed Central says that project-based learning is more effective than other more traditional or lecture-based methods at improving social and communication skills, problem-solving, and self-learning skills. Kapan says that middle school students in California who learn science with the project-based curriculum outperformed their peers by 11 percentage points on science assessment and also did better on the state's end-of-the-year math and English language arts assessment. Edutopia even provides a good graph on AP test pass rates between traditional classes and PBL classes. You can see that 8% of PBL students, or 8% more PBL students will go on to pass than traditional classes, which may not seem like a lot, but you got to know that there's a lot of people taking traditional classes and a lot of people taking PBL classes. So this is pretty substantial. Even this school itself is an excellent form of proof on how project-based learning is really effective. So far, we've had a 100% graduation rate, we've had 0 dropouts, we've had 98% attendance, and I think part of that is because since we work in groups, you don't want to be absent because you don't want to be held accountable for what you might be missing out on, or if you're holding back your group. Like I said, at the end of each project, we have a presentation. And we do a lot of projects, like about 8 to 9 in each class each year. So that's about 120 to 180 times that you're going to be publicly speaking in front of your entire class. So that if that doesn't teach you something, I don't know what will. We're also very diverse in the students that we teach. From 2016 to 2020, our classes have had, on average, 66% eco-disadvantaged students, 25% English language learners, and 11% special education students. And as you can see, they all passed 100% graduation. They did not drop out. They try to be here every single day because project-based learning is inclusive and diverse. And if that still isn't enough, then I'd like to mention that a lot of the people who graduated from here, including my sister, are now in UT. I still have one final piece of evidence, and that's me. I know I'm fabulous, but to be completely serious, I use myself as a piece of evidence because project-based learning has helped me out so much in this school. As one of those special ed students myself, I have autism, which basically means it's very hard for me to express myself. But through project-based learning, I learned how to communicate with others. I learned how to make friends. I learned how to be efficient in my work and time. And overall, it's just really amazing what project-based learning can do for someone like me, or just like anyone who has a problem with learning. Because project-based learning, as I said, is inclusive and it's always there to help you out. Your team is always there to help you out. Your teacher's always there to help you out. Because not just with project-based learning, but in a school like this, in a school like Cedars, everyone is always very welcome. So I just think that's really nice, and it's really taught me a thing or two about just how to get by. It's amazing. But that's where I'd like to end it. Thank you.